My reflection in the mirror started moving differently from me. I've always considered myself a rational person. No superstitions, no fear of the supernatural or strange events. Living in the modern world makes those things feel unnecessary, especially when every unusual occurrence can be explained by science, exhaustion, or coincidence. But a few weeks ago, I encountered something that shattered my understanding of reality. It all started with my mirror. My morning began as usual. I got up, washed my face, and went to the bathroom mirror to shave. I was staring at my reflection, checking where I needed to run the razor. Everything seemed normal until I blinked. My reflection didn't. A chill ran down my spine. I didn't immediately understand what had happened, but something about that moment felt off. Maybe I was just tired. I blinked again. This time, my reflection blinked too, but slower than it should have. Probably just my imagination, I thought. Still, the feeling of unease wouldn't leave me. Over the next few days, I avoided lingering in front of the mirror. It sounds silly, but I started feeling uncomfortable in my own bathroom. Yet it's impossible to completely avoid mirrors. One evening, while brushing my teeth before bed, I noticed it again. When I turned my head to spit out the toothpaste, my reflection didn't follow immediately. It moved with a slight delay, like a video stream buffering. I froze, my heart pounding in my chest. I lifted my hand slowly, watching as my reflection did the same, but with that same unsettling delay. Then I leaned closer to the mirror. And that's when it happened. My reflection smiled. Not me. I stood there, paralyzed. It wasn't my movement and it wasn't my expression. I was terrified but tried to convince myself that it was just a trick of the mind, some sort of hallucination caused by fatigue. The next day I went to a hardware store and bought a new mirror. I decided the old one was broken somehow and replacing it would solve the problem. But the new mirror didn't change anything. One night I woke up to a strange noise. It was a scratching sound, like someone dragging their nails across glass. I turned on the light and looked toward the bathroom. The door was slightly ajar, and I could see the moonlight reflecting off the mirror. I approached slowly, carefully pushing the door open. Everything looked normal, but when I glanced at the mirror, my reflection moved sluggishly again. It blinked when I didn't. And then I saw its lips move. It was whispering something. My blood ran cold. I leaned in closer, straining to hear what it was saying. The sound was strange, like a distorted whisper through a broken radio. I couldn't make out the words, but it was horrifying. After that, I began noticing that the strangeness wasn't confined to the bathroom mirror. Every mirror in my house felt wrong. I tried covering them with sheets, but it didn't help. Every night I felt as if someone, or something, was watching me from behind the covered glass. A few days ago, I did something I regret. I decided to record what was happening on video. I set up my phone in front of the bathroom mirror and hit record. The next morning, I watched the footage. At first, everything looked normal. I walked into the bathroom, washed my face, and glanced at the mirror. Then it happened. My reflection froze. It just stopped moving, even as I turned away. Then it started moving on its own. In the video, I appeared confused, staring at the mirror. But my reflection turned its head and looked directly at the camera. It smiled, a wide, unnatural grin. Then it raised its hand and tapped on the inside of the glass. I shut off the video and deleted it immediately. I was sure I was losing my mind. Now I barely sleep. I'm terrified to even glance at my reflection. Sometimes I hear faint whispers or rustling sounds, as if someone is standing right behind me. I've tried talking to friends, but no one takes me seriously. Tonight I stood in front of the mirror, trying not to show my fear. My reflection stared back at me, its eyes filled with something I can only describe as curiosity. Then it did something I'll never forget. It stepped forward, and I realized it was no longer inside the mirror. It was here. I'm writing this because I don't know what else to do. If anyone has any idea what's happening or how to stop it, please help me. I'm afraid that next time, it won't just come out, it will replace me.